gift through his word. It's God's gift through his word. It's God's gift through his word. It's God's gift through his word.
All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday to you. New start to the week. We are still doing cuffing season, and I have my amazing podcasting friend, and we're going to be talking about a great subject, and I always love talking about it with him. We're going to be talking about Hubsons. So, hey, Pastor Jay.
Hey T, what's going on? What's going on, people? What's going on, people? You know we about to get down. This is our sixth season, and this is what I'm. This is one of the most controversial, but people like it. Shows Hubson and Cloak and Cover. So we gonna get started. But first, T don't know I'm doing this, but I want to give a shout out to T.Drake, who's now known as Treasurer Tanika Drake. Amen. She has risen again. All the good things that's happening to her, and you have something that's going to come out in December. What's happening in December?
Yes, I'm going to be doing an interview for my audiobook that's going to be coming out. So that's going to be the first step.
Her audiobook is called about. This is the book that she written some time back. And what's the name of the book that you can order on paperback right now?
Yes, it's The Gift to Find God's Love, Guilt and Shame Turned into My Shine. You can also get it digital.
And now you better get it audiobook.
Yay!
Yay! So let's give a shout out to T. Oh, excuse me, Madam Treasurer, author, podcaster, mother extraordinaire, T. Drake. Amen.
Thank you.
So, T, you want to ask me some questions and we can get started, or how you want to start?
Yes, I think we're just going to just dive right in. I think we're going to go with the Hubsons. But before we do that, why do Hubsons even exist? Like, how do they even form? How do they even start to be a Hubson? Where they come from?
You know what? That is such a great question, because that was the first question that I thought of. You know, we've never really talked about the creation of a Hubson. Now, we're going to do a little definition. There are husbands that are sons, which is fine. There are husbands that are sons. And then there's husbands that are sons. There are hub sons. And what I mean by that definition is they have the title of a husband, but to their wife or to their son, they're more like a son. Can I get an amen? Right. Ladies, I know this is one of them sticky subjects. You can have him listen to it if he wants to. And let me tell you something. If your man gets upset by what I'm about to say, that proves that they're a Hubson. Because real alpha males do not get upset by this because they don't have none of these traits. So how do you create a Hubson? I'm glad you asked. Hubsons are created by mothers. You won't get a Hubson unless you have a mother that creates a Hubson. And it normally forms with a mother that has a unique, distinct kind of relationship with their sons that they should not have if they are raising their sons to be grown men who rule, run, and direct their own lives. And these women, as these young men grow up, they have an inordinate affection for them that's kind of weird, and I'll get into that part later. But what they do is they block any kind of male influence that doesn't run through them and cater to their motherly ways. So the mother, on one hand, is protecting their son in a way that they don't need to. You know, it comes in forms of he can't fall, he can't get scratched up. Oh, my poor baby. Oh, don't take him to this. He can't cut grass because he's sniffling. I mean, just on and on and on and on to the point where this young man starts understanding that his mommy is always going to be there to wipe his nose, change his diapers, and give him food. and I would call it sucking on the proverbial eternal breast of your mom. So what ends up happening is this man at 5, 1 through 10, it's kind of cute, but it boils over to 10, 11, 12, where this mother ends up having a real inordinate affection for her child, letting this son who's going through puberty sleep in her bed with her at night if she's single. Or she could be married and the father has no influence over the son, whereas she's always blocking the discipline, the correction, the challenges that a real father brings to raise their sons to be men who can take care of their own households. And the Hubson is born out of mommy gonna fix it all the time. No matter what they do, no matter how bad it is, mommy gonna fix it. But the only problem with this is mommy can't fix everything. Mommy can't buy your way out of trouble all the time. Mommy's not gonna have that effect on you. So what ends up happening with these Hubsons, they begin to seek out women who are going to be their mothers, who's going to fix it, who's going to do everything for them. And this episode, which is year 6 of us doing this, it's going to be a twist because the title is Hubsons Wake Up. And I'll get to that. So these Hubsons are born out of not having the proper male stimulus in their life and correction, direction, and discipline in their life. They don't know how to be committed. They know how to be accountable. They know how to be responsible. And once these men, because they're males, they do mature, they do get old physically, they seem to lack that independence that you want to see in a man. Okay. And they can put on a show and they tend to act like alpha males, but they don't have the suaveness of real alpha males. They don't have that. They overplay in their ego when they're dealing with people. They got to show somebody they a man. Okay. But yet still their actions and their history shows that, you a man, but you don't have it going on like you're not a Renaissance man. You don't have it going on like you think you do. Okay. So a Hubson is born from mothers who simply don't have the right males who are bringing the correction, the discipline, the instruction, and all those things into that child's life. And now that child goes through boyhood, adolescence, and now manhood with an overdependence upon mom. Okay. All right. So T, that's the definition of how we get a Hubson. What's your next question?
Why is that? Okay, so when you said that, because I was just listening to you and I was like, okay, so the moms produce these Hubsons and there's no way to correct that behavior if they're a single mother and they have to raise this child. There's no way to kind of correct that so they don't grow up to become these Hubsons.
Well, yeah, it's up to the mother. See, the thing about it is the child's going to receive what you give out. Okay, he's gonna eat what you dish it out. So remember, I said this is not only for single moms. This is for wives who don't allow their husbands to be the directing factor in their sons' lives.
Okay.
So this is not just, I didn't want people to think I'm just dealing with single moms. No,
yeah.
No. I done seen Hubsons be born out of mother-father families, but there's one common denominator. The father can't tell that son to do nothing. The mother's always blocking for that son, always jumping in between her and the discipline of the father, as if the father's going to kill the son, overextending and over-exaggerating the purpose of discipline when the Bible clearly tells us that discipline is good for men. Okay? It's good that, you got a 25, 26-year-old son living at home with their father, and the father's still taking out the trash, and the son gets to sit there and play video games. And when the father says, hey, boy, get up and take out this trash, mom comes along and say, don't say that to him. He's allergic to the plastic. He's allergic to the trash, but it's his trash too. And I'm making jokes, but I mean, I done seen some weird stuff like that. Like, you got, me and my brother, okay? Once we got to 10, 11, and 12, we were cutting the grass. My daddy didn't cut no grass. He sat in the shade with his beer, directing traffic. And if we didn't do it right, my mama couldn't come out and say, well, Mike and Jim, they're sniffling and they may have allergies. So, they can't cut grass no more. My dad looked at her and say, get him some Benadryl and keep on pushing. If they can play sports, they can see. This is the thing. If they can play sports in the grass, guess what? They can cut
They can
the
cut the
grass.
grass. Yeah.
Okay. So we have these weird relationships where the man is X'd out. Okay. And they get older depending solely. And these moms, let me tell you something. These moms don't want to admit that, but they set this up like this. They set it up like this. They want their sons to be totally dependent upon them. And a lot of them set up, like I say, weird type of, that's my boyfriend / son relationship. My son is my baby, my this and my that and my this and my that. Yeah, but he never grows up to be a real man where he can take care of his own household, because guess what he's going to do? Either he's going to look for a woman to be his mama, and then you're going to be mad because he's picked another mom, or he's going to solely depend on you. And then his focus is not leaving his mother. See, I know why the Bible said, leave your mother first. Leave your mother and your father and cling unto your wife, or your father and your mother leave. I know why he said that, because there's a chance that this man will be a Hubson. Okay. So yeah, it's not just for single women. This is women who do this to their sons. If your son is like this, ladies, it's your fault. It's your fault, because at some point you relied on that relationship too much, to the point they couldn't develop into the men that they supposed to be. Okay. And now you release them in the world, and they're just they're just male look-alike figures, and they're still children in their mind, feeling entitled and deserving just because they're your baby. They're your baby, so they're entitled to the world. But what ends up happening is that mother could keep up with him and what he wanted when he was 10, 11, 12, maybe in the 20s. But now that he's in his 30s and 40s, you can't keep up with it, because what he wants is too expensive. But you set it up like this, and now you got to pay, and then you got the nerve to complain when you set this up. You set him up to be dependent upon you. Lying to everybody, talking about you want him to be independent. You lonely for something that you don't have in your household, whether you're married or not. So you create your son to be that person. And because of that, he still goes and leaves you. And now you feel abandoned because you created your baby boy to be there forever and be this weird type of boyfriend type of thing going on. We're going to pull the lid off of this thing because it's too prevalent. It's too prevalent. I know too many women in these situations. So there you have. That's creation of Hubson.
So when you talk about Hubsons, are these just glorified mama's boys?
That's all they are. They're not even glorified. They're just mama's boys.
Well, that's horrible, because what woman could ever compete with a mom? And then you have these men that come into the women's lives as these husbands, but then they're just mama's boys. They don't want to do anything. And then how are women supposed to reconcile that when they accept? Some of these ladies accept now, some of them accept that, but it's so tiresome. It seems that would be more harmful. It would be more stressful to have a grown man that's acting like a whole son. That's too much, I would think.
Well, that again, you said a lot, but I'm gonna break it down. That's too much for some women. All right. So let's back up a little bit. So this Hubson gets released into the world. He's a mama's boy. And he starts dating. Okay. He's looking for someone that will fill the gap of what mom can't do no more. So he's looking for a woman who can take the place where he can be now a hub son. Okay. And what ends up happening is, because of the dating pool and what's going on, and like I said, we didn't have many shows about that. He sniffs out the woman during the cuffing season or any season that's like blood in the water. She's willing to compromise on some of her values, because you have to remember, fathers don't produce hub sons. Now they could reproduce that in a girl towards her dad, and that's another tale. But Fathers don't produce hub sons, women do. So when he goes out and starts dating, he's looking for a certain type of woman to play into his ego, to tell him that he's good, to tell him that he's great. And he knows how to put the best foot forward to show. He's going to give a show of independence. But if you just wait a little longer, you'll see that he's 9 times out of 10, he's very responsible with his money. It's hard for him to commit to things. He's all over the place. All he wants to do is have fun. He really never suffers. He often whines and complains about what other people doing to him. Okay. And a lot of times, because you as a female at this time or any other time, you are in the, I want to be with somebody. I want somebody to love me and all that. And I'm not telling you these hub sons don't love. Okay. I don't want you to think that it's just that they are immature. They haven't fully developed yet to be independent Renaissance men, thinking men. How many women they can do. I mean, hub sons often spend a lot of time bragging on like how many women, they want to run with the alphas, and they're actually betas. Okay. And alphas realize that because they spend just too much time talking about their past and what they had conquests in the past. Okay. And really, at a certain age, it's like, okay, why are we talking about this? What's the point? We want to know, are you taking care of your children? Are you paying your bills and all this, that, and the other? But again, I digress. So these hub sons marry these women who have settled for them. And some know it and some don't. It's not 100% no way or the other. I'm not going to even try to measure it out. Some know it and some don't. Raised by women don't come up with us. Make sure. I mean, the mother has to go out of her way to make sure he doesn't feel entitled. She has to go out of her way. And I've known some men that have been raised by women and they're not hub sons because their mothers went out their way to make sure, oh no, you gonna do men stuff. You gonna take it. You gonna get the heat from it. I'm not gonna bail you out of it. That kind of thing. That statement like, you go to jail, I ain't coming. That helps. But if you go to jail and mama always there, it's a shame when the guards at the desk for visitors know you by your first name because you up there so much in throughout the life of your teenager to your adult son. Oh, hey, Miss Johnson, I ain't seen you in 4 years. He back? Okay. And I ain't talking about what I theorized. I used to be a correction officer. I'm talking about what I know. Okay. So again, these women play into that. They don't let them grow up. They don't let them deal with the consequences of their decisions and their behavior and their choices. You're always trying to cover up. And see, that's cloaking and covering. And I'm just going to throw that out. That's a little bit of cloaking and covering. You're covering up the reality of who they really are. And you want other people to see what you want them to see in them, but they're not that. So you see that these women marry these guys. And the first thing I notice that happens, because I know several couples in this situation, the first thing I notice that happens, this woman finds out he's a hub son in this sense. His mother is still the most important woman in his life, not the wife. And she normally finds out at the point of some kind of event or something that happens, and he'll tell her straight up, that's my mama. And I'm going to do this for my mama. The insurance policy is going to be in my mama's name. Now, the mama's older than the wife. But if something happened to you, you want to make sure you take care of your mama first and then consider your wife. That's a telltale sign. That's a telltale sign. Some kind of event, he will go ahead and tell you straight up, it's about my mama first, then you. That goes against every biblical principle on the planet. Okay? You may not like it, but it does. He wants to take care of everybody else first, but take care of his wife. And sometimes his child. Because that's his mama. And then the mother who creates a hub son, if let me tell you, you'll pull her identity out, because when he does that and says that, she doesn't correct him. She doesn't say, "Oh no, son, you're supposed to do this for your wife. You don't need to take care of me. I'll be okay. But take care of your wife and your family first. That's what you're supposed to do. That's why you got married." See, but no, she go ahead and don't say nothing. She don't correct them. She don't say, "No, son, you shouldn't do that. You should do it this way." Because she love it. Because she's letting that wife know, I'm still top woman in his life. I'm the alpha female in his wife. In his life. I'm sorry. In his life. What you think, T?
I think that's sad. I think that's sad. It, I don't know. I haven't had that. So I just hearing that would be for me if I did. I've had a husband, but just didn't have that part. If I had someone that was like that, and the mother is more important than me, the wife, that's a slap in my face. That hurts. It's not just disappointing. Like, what the heck? Your mother? I'm married to you. And if we have kids, you don't care about your kids. You don't care about me. You care about your mama. Not saying that you need to go discredit her or go disregard her, nothing like that. But I'm your wife. We got married together.
The key is he doesn't know how to balance that out.
That's crazy.
And the mother hasn't taught him how to do so. So it's either
And
in him, y'all are in conflict, even though you should not be. In him, it's mother versus wife. Whereas if he's truly a male and an alpha male, he knows there's no conflict between his mother and his wife because they're on the same team, really, for the betterment of the family. He'll do stuff like his mother and them would have an event, and he'll find a way not to tell you about it and think it's okay. And he'll make up some, and again, what hub sons do to cover themselves, they make up straw man arguments of why they don't tell you stuff and why they don't invite you to stuff and why they don't do stuff with you instead of, and while doing it with their parent, with their mama. It's straw man arguments. It's arguments that's nonsensical. It's not factual. It's fiction, but it allows them to keep the relationship intact. And they get upset when you finally expose them as hub sons, because now they begin to gaslight you, like you got the problem. I'm telling you, if your husband says you are jealous of my mama, he's a hub son.
But then, Pastor Jay, so if someone marries a person like that, that's a hub son. There's no correction for that because he's.
I can't hear you. I guess I lost you. I don't know if I'm still here or not. T, I can't hear you. Hello? I don't know if me that went out or her that went out. I don't know. I think I went out. I'm going to go out and come back in. T, I don't know if you can hear me or not.
I've never enjoyed having a Hubson. So, no. Hey, Pastor Jay. Uh-oh.
Hear me? Hello?
I can hear you now.
Okay, for some reason or other went out. Yeah. I don't know if I went out or you went out, but I couldn't hear you. So you ready to bring me back up?
But now there's two of you. Can you see there's two of you on the stage? Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, now you're back to just one of you.
Okay. All right. Okay. What last thing you heard from me?
um, I can't recall because I was asking you how do you avoid getting a Hubson, but then you
Okay.
went
Well,
out, so I
but
didn't hear
basically what I
anything.
was saying, what I was saying, can you hear me? Are you good?
Yes.
What I was saying is that did you hear me say if a husband says to you that you're jealous of my mom, that's an example, that's proves that he's a hub son?
Yes, I did hear you say that.
Okay. You didn't hear me or you did hear me say that?
No, I did hear you say that. I heard you say that.
Okay. So with that, there's telltale signs because again, one of the signs of a hub son, that's why you take your time before you get married. The problem with divorce is not divorce, it's marriage, because you're not taking the time to learn. And again, we just talking about the guy this time. Ladies, I'm gonna get to you sometime before the season's out. Um, this guy tends to be irresponsible. He doesn't pay his bills. And you're saying, how do we end up getting a guy like this? Well, you didn't take the
Yeah.
time to investigate. Think about it. You just didn't take
Mm,
the time. You move rapidly on your emotions, your feelings, and your lust.
mm,
Okay.
true.
And during
Yeah.
this time, it's heightened. So your blood in the water. So you move. Okay. But the problem is for women who have resources, at first it's cool because he'll come with a little bit of something, but you don't know he's a hub son because it's you and him vibing at first. It's you and him. It's you and him. He mentions his mom, but you don't see it because you haven't been entrenched in his life long enough to see that relationship, that you won't be the top woman. He'll tell you, yeah, you're going to be the woman. I'm going to cherish you and honor you. I'm going to treat you like the Ephesians 5:25. Husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. He promised you all that, but he don't tell you there's a breaking point to when it comes to his mama, all that stuff is out the window.
Mm,
See, all that stuff is good until you challenge me with moms. You see, there's no male figure in his life to tell him, boy, you supposed to cleave unto your wife. She comes first. Whatever mom don't have. But the best way for mom to have, if you really think about it, you become whole in your relationship with the wife and let the wife and you and mom establish a relationship. So now mom can be taken care of by the both of you, especially if she's the engine that pulls the train.
mm-hmm.
It would be better for you to have her on your side. But again, you think you doing something by creating this rift. There's really not a rift. You creating it to protect your position to feel good with mommy. You can't justify a hub son. Okay. And some of you mothers, now y'all done got tired of them because they dragging on you. You know, they used to ask you for $20, $30, $40, $100. Now they want 500, 1,000,
Yeah.
5,000. Because the mistakes they keep making by not being fully grown now cost more money. See, instead of you fixing their bicycle or their skateboard, they want you to buy them a car. And guess what? You did this to them because you never did stop doing it. But now you reached your limit. You tapped out. You can't do it no more. You done ran up your credit cards trying to hide the irresponsibility of this boy. And now you want to tap out. And he look at you like you crazy. What you mean tap out? You better find a way to get it, mama. Because you've always done it. You ain't tell me I had to do this on my own. You told me you never leave me nor forsake me.
Mm-mm.
Okay? So now let's move over. You marry one, right?
Yeah.
You find out that he's a hub son. And this is where I say hub sons wake up. I'm going to say something to you. You're going to never believe I'm going to say. You chose him, and it's okay. Hub sons, I want you to wake up. It's okay for a woman to choose a hub son if she know that she getting one. Now I'm going to get on her. You ain't got no reason to complain if that's what you chosen. You have no reason to complain if you didn't investigate far enough into his relationship and wait, and you find out that he is. You, in your ego, sometimes what I've seen with these guys who are hub sons, they got wives that believe that because they are mature and they have it going on in resources, they can change this hub son into the husband they want. And it never works because the draw of the mom is too strong. So what she does is get mad and frustrated. And what she does is throw her money at it, trying to compete with mom. But see, it's not about really the money. It's about the relationship. And no matter how much money you throw at the situation, he's going to always refer to his mama. He's going to even ask his mama, can he do stuff with you? He will come to you oftentimes and y'all been beefing or talking about something or discussing something intimate and you think it's between y'all two. It's between y'all three. Because he going to eventually, if you back him into a corner, he going to say, my mama told me you say this. My mama told me. And you like, you discussing this with your mama?
Yeah.
I thought this was between me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, I asked my mom. How you gonna ask your mom about being married if she ain't even married?
Yeah.
I want you to meditate on that one. The close she got to get, she been shacking, and you gonna ask her about something that she's never ever achieved, or she hasn't been in as long as you have, and you gonna ask her for some advice? No, it don't work like that. So, woman, you picked them, you stuck with them, I guess. You know, and now you got to deal with the frustration of his irresponsibility. There's no telling what he might do, and he expects you to pick it up, beef it up, and get it done for him. And see, the problem is that suited you at first until that irresponsibility, that false ego, that fake alpha ends up frustrating you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Because again, it'd be different if he just sat back and took the good gifts and let you roll on and do the great things you are called to do, and you doing it and you don't mind taking care of him. But it's the other stuff that you got to deal with. The mom, him flexing sometimes, him trying to put you down to keep you in your place and all of that stuff. And it drives you crazy because he doesn't have to do that. You already know he a hub son and you cool with it. Hub son, wake up, ride the gravy train.
You tell it.
That's the wake up part. Hub sons around the world, if you're the sound of my voice, if you're sitting there with your girl and don't get mad at me, I'm telling you, sit down, shut up, and ride the gravy train. She just wants you to leave her alone and let her conquer the world. That ain't for you. We the time of the woman for real. Dude, that ain't for you. You know you can't. You know you don't have the mental acuity to do what she do. Yes, you love her. We not talking about you not loving her, but why you are causing her undue stress when all you got to do is ride the gravy train? You done got more stuff, the stuff you like. You done went more places. You done spent more money. You done popped your collar more around your friends. You done drank up drink. You done ate up food. And guess what? She ain't never tried to let you, to throw herself out there to put herself before you. She allows you to do all of that, and you want to give her some grief, some made up grief, because your ego feels that it must correct her and keep checking her. That's another thing the hub sons always doing. They checking their wife, the wife that's pulling the train of their luxury. Hub sons, sit down, shut up, and learn something. Ride it out. You got it good.
That's so terrible.
See, I'm not sitting there saying leave him or nothing like that. I'm trying to educate her, said you got what you got. He's not gonna change. And I'm trying to educate him. You got it good, and quit beating her up. There's no reason for you to beat her up. She's not fronting you off ever. Only time that I would tell you she's fronting you off, and I guess we get into cloak and cover a little bit, is when she takes on the windmilling role for you with your male friends. And let's say the group of You guys are talking and she's in earshot and y'all talking man stuff and she says something that the men say something that may bruise your ego and she's used to your ego being bruised. So here she come like a tornado into the male conversation. Trust me, us males, we looking at that nigga like he really weak now. Women, stay out of men's conversations because that makes him look weak. What you're trying to do is protect his ego, but amongst us, you just made him look like a Bia. You make him looking like he's inferior. And we then at that point, we know who the engine that pulls the train. Because you in here trying to debate with us about something that we talking about with him. And if men are talking and they upset his ego, oh well, grow some. Grow some. He always in his feelings. And the female friends that I had that I talked to about this, they know how I feel about it. I can't deal with no dude always in his feelings. I can't navigate that. I'm not saying don't have no feelings, but every time you deal with them, you got to worry about their feelings like you, they mama. No, that's too much for me. That's too much for me. So what you think, T?
I think a Hubson sounds very annoying and very frustrating.
Why are you frustrated?
What?
You picked them. I mean, think about it. You picked them. You pulling the engine.
But,
You just won't compete.
Okay. Well, fine. We'll go with that argument. I just want to be on the side of whoever picked one of those. I don't have one, but what if I'm that woman that picked one? Like, so I just have to deal with it. I have to just deal with him being like this, and you like, yeah, that's what you got. This is what you got. So that sounds so horrible.
I mean, yeah, you could divorce him. All that stuff. I mean, that's an option. But I'm saying a lot of what is happening, these women stay with these guys. I'm trying to make it peace for both sides.
Do you really think that's is going to be peaceful?
Yes, it can happen.
It can't.
All needs to happen is one thing. She needs to not involve herself in his male counterpart friends because that makes him weak because she windmilling for him too much. Mm-hmm. Talk about her baby. She doesn't need to talk about him like he's a son amongst people, men and women.
Yeah.
You know, and she does it so naturally, she doesn't realize that everybody else start realizing he's a Hubson. Oh, he don't know how to do this. He can't do this. You let me, I got to take care of that. You got to remind me of that. Cause you know, it's some things that's fine with, but there's other things you'd be like, what? Oh yeah. He basically, you're telling me he's too inept to take care of some things. So I got to take care of it all. So what ends up happening when you the engine that pulls the train, you used to taking care of stuff on your own, and your peace come from things that are taken care of. You don't like lingering things. You're not the person that says, I got an electric bill, but I want to go to a concert and I'm gonna pay a little bit on my electric bill, but go to the concert. What you do, because you're a responsible person, you say, nuh-uh. I don't want them electric people even think about cutting my stuff off. I'm going to pay the electric bill. But the Hubson, let me see. Can I get away with paying $30 on this $400 electric bill? And I'll catch up next week because I want to go to this concert. I want to get this food. I want to go on this trip. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, there's a big difference.
I don't know. It just sounds really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Every time we talk about these things during this period, it's like there's a point that this woman, she knows she has a decision to make. So is she running off of, oh, I'm a settle? Or is the biological clock that's innate in some of these women, is it something that's so strong that says, oh, well, I'll take the compromise, I'll take the hit. But then later on down the road, they're frustrated, they're upset, but they can't do anything about it because they just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because these women are women of integrity and they made a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
in their life. They live committed lives of integrity. So if they jumped into the well, they're gonna keep trying to swim. But I'm saying for the Hubson, don't make it so difficult for her to swim. She already knows who you are, and she's willing to do whatever it takes to keep you covered and keep you secure. Just leave her alone. All she wants you to do is love on her, give her her affection, encourage her, and go on about your business, and she'll let you have the world. She's already let you have the world. You already know that you can get the world. But why make it like, why try to frustrate her as if you doing this? Come on now. Everybody know. Everybody, as we say in St. Louis, everybody know it ain't you, because that wasn't you beforehand. So yeah, it doesn't have to be war. And if you the mother of a Hubson and your son is married, you should be the one saying, look, son, if the wife is happy and she's the engine that pulls the train, then she'll help pull my train if you don't cause some undue friction between us that you think should be there. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I was the mom and I knew my son had married a golden goose, I'm gonna tell him, don't fry the golden goose, because
Don't
if you
rock the
fry the
boat.
golden goose, the goose can't lay no more eggs that I benefit from too. Now I don't know if I can't make it no simpler than that.
Well, I think you did make it simple.
You
I
got to
think
be a
one of the things
moron if you don't understand what I just said. And again, if your guy is mad because I exposed it, why you mad? I'm telling you to roll with it. I ain't telling you that you need to change.
well, I
Stay
think they
just
might
like
be in
you
their
are,
feelings.
but just don't be causing all this anxiety when there's no need to, dude. You ain't got no reason to complain about nothing. Nothing.
Well, you think it's hard for them, Pastor Jay, for the Hubsons to showcase that they got to be the man and pop their collar, that they have to do that? Is there a way that they don't have to do that?
No, the popping the collar is not the problem. The popping the collar is fine. Just don't antagonize the goose that lays the golden egg so you can pop your collar. See, you thinking the popping the collar is the problem. Popping the collar is not the problem. But she don't mind him popping his collar.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? She don't mind
Yeah.
him taking some credit. What she is upset about is when he takes credit and antagonizes her.
Oh, causes undue stress.
Causes undue stress. He wants to take credit, but he wants to take credit and show that he in control of her. Like, it's almost like, I'm gonna show y'all she may be the golden goose, but I'm pimping the golden goose. You ain't got to do that. You her husband.
That's crazy.
Hey,
That is.
you said it, I didn't. It is crazy. and it don't have to be.
It don't have to be crazy.
It don't have to be. My son loves his mom. Ain't no doubt. Matter of fact, divorced parents, I told him, always take care of your mama. Always take care of your mama. Did that for the Jasmine and told him, take care of your mama, take care of your mama. And they had. But my son got married, he understood too. And his mama understood. He married now. And his alliance and allegiance changes. And thank God, me and his mom didn't raise him to be no Hubson. And to show you, like, it was something that was said to him by one of his friends, and his good friends. I mean, and he was moving from one state to another, and they threw up the question like, "What's your mama gonna say?" You know what my son said with no trepidation? What you mean? What my mama gonna say? This about me and my wife. At that point, I was clapping. When he told me that, I just smiled to myself and said, "See, that's what I'm talking about." He know. He know. He understand. And his mama understand. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, his mama sitting back going, oh, she's going to miss him. But yeah, he has to go forward. And only when your sons and your daughters can be all that they can be, and you let them go and cut the apron strings, only then can they take care of you. But if you haven't prepared them for that, you stuck like Chuck. You got too many mothers out here paying the way still for their 35, 40, because they want to maintain control. See, that's what I'm saying. It's about control. All the way through, it's about control. You did this to him, and he received it. And now that he's 50 years old and can't do anything on his own without checking with you, and now you frustrated, how dare you? You made him like this. And again, I don't want nobody to take it to the extreme. I'm not saying don't rely on your mama or your daddy, but there's some things at some point you should, you know what, they'll be very proud if you can do it on your own. And if they ain't proud that you did on your own and didn't consult them, again, you need to question, what are their motive for growing me up? Was it to simply take care of them? And you know that, where your parents kind of condition you over the years to be Cinderella or Cinderfella?
Yep.
Okay. Think about it. Same psychological makeup for Hubson. Starts with the mom. Starts with the mom. Literally, you got husbands, fathers of sons who can't say anything to their sons in discipline. Their sons are 24, 25-year-olds smoking dope in the house, wrecking cars, and the mama will not allow the father to kick them out or nothing. He can't discipline them at all. And when I talk to these fathers, they have never disciplined their sons because the mother always said or put up the strong argument like daddy gonna kill the son. He gonna murder them. Come on now. When we used to say that like a daddy gonna kill us, we knew our father would go kill us. What it was is he know how to beat you in a way real quick that mom will take a few minutes to beat you to make you feel that way. Dad come in the first stroke will break you down. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And these mothers believe they doing good. These mothers believe they doing good until they wake up one day and they find their 50-year-old son can't do nothing. And don't let the engine that pulls their train get tired of them and divorce this man, because now this man been proven to be a Hubson. Don't nobody else want him.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got him again.
You got him again. It passed him back like a toy. Here,
She passed you back, now. And now you back with mama. But mama can't do what she used to do for you. Yeah. So there you go. Wake up, Hubsons. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. You got it good. Ride the gravy train. Wives who have Hubsons, you have to deal with this situation in a way that you don't get so stressed out. So my advice to you wives that have Hubsons, just try to navigate his ego. You got to remember, it's all about him feeling like he's an alpha male, and you already know he not. But go ahead and stroke his ego, and hopefully he won't frustrate you as much. Now, that's no guarantee, because you stroke his ego, he might do something real stupid. But your goal is to get less frustration. And if you're looking to align yourself with his mom, who made him, that ain't going to happen. See, some things you come to the reality of it is what it is, and maybe that helps you, where you quit trying to change him and just say, this is what I got. So my goal is to get peace in what I have, whatever little peace I can get. I know that's bleak for her, but I'm trying to tell him, you don't have to pull her trigger her all the time, trying to prove your point. You got her. She ain't going nowhere. She didn't put up with you this far. Where's she going? In a sense, she may be damaged.
Oh, that's horrible. I hope not.
She go to the next man after dealing with you. That man gonna look at her like, what? You ain't gonna do this and you ain't gonna do that, and give him a whole bunch of restrictions he ain't never even tried to do. But see, you want to ward off dealing with the person that you dealt with.
Mm.
Because you didn't get to tell them that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there you have it. I don't have no more. If you got some questions, T, if you got some questions or comments, I'm ready for them.
The only question I had was, I don't I don't like this. And the question I have is, if these hub sons exist, Pastor J, you can't see these signs when they're kids, right? Because the mother would be making them into that, so you won't be able to see it until they're grown adults,
No,
right? You
no,
can't.
you can there are some small telltale signs, like if they're in there, if you have a home and you
Mm-hmm,
have a husband and your husband does all the yard work
mm-hmm,
and the son never gets the privilege to go out and help him, and then when he do, you stand in the window watching him and he starts sniffling and scratching and itching. You tell him to come on in, and you tell the husband he can't go out here no more. Yeah, yeah, you're helping make him into a hub son. It
mm.
starts young and gets progressively worse. So by the time he's dating, you know, the dating scene is, I'm gonna find a girl that take care of me. Okay, so he tends to be the guy who gives the little but expects a lot. He wants to control. He's kind of a narcissist. You know, he'll do whatever it takes to get what he wants, and eventually he gets you, and he proposes you, and he may love you, but he loves himself and mama more.
It's all about him.
It's all about him.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hooked up with somebody like that, you got to find a way to cope with it other than drinking.
I don't know how you can cope with a narcissist. That's kind of hard.
They're not a strong. I wouldn't put them as a strong narcissist, but they have
Oh.
narcissistic tendencies because it's about them and their mom. Well, see, the fact that it's about their mama too kind of slices that narcissist. Like he's 3/4 narcissist and half narcissist and half mama's boy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He over cares about his mom in an unhealthy
Unhealthy manner.
money to help. So that's what I'm telling him to wake up.
Mm.
If mom needed $5,000, you need to go get it from your wife. So why frustrate her and make a competition between them two when you just need to be quiet and ride the gravy train? So when mama needs something that you can't provide, you can get it because there's no friction between mom and wife. They ain't
Mm.
got to be best friends, but mom needs to realize she's the engine that pulls your train, and she needs to act accordingly so she can be ready to receive what the golden goose has too.
Hmm.
See, the mama can't afford the son, and the son can't afford the mama no more. So the factor that can afford is the golden goose that can take care of
Mm.
both. So both of them need to wake up and ride the gravy train and quit being antagonistic. There you go.
That's it in a nutshell. That's
That's
how it
it.
is supposed to.
That's what I've been waiting to say. Ride the gravy train and wake up, hub sons. Quit playing. You know where your bread is buttered.
Well,
People don't like that.
are
Hey,
we?
hey, hey, as the great Sir William say, they don't like this kind of teaching.
No, they don't. They don't like that teaching. Well, Pastor Jay, before since we're getting done with Hubson, what's our next topic before when we come back to our
Oh,
next time
cloak
for our
and
cuffing
cover.
season? Cloak. Oh, we're doing cloak and cover. Okay,
Cloak and cover. That's for the ladies who
that sounds
spend
good.
an inordinate amount of time.
All right, Pastor Jay. Well, you want to close us out with your tagline?
Yep. Hey, thank you for listening. Please share this, share this, share this. I know this may be a hard subject for some. Maybe you need to listen, ladies, you need to listen by yourself first before you share this with your hub son because he doesn't want to be exposed. But then remind him at the end he should be happy because I'm saying ride the gravy train. Okay. And I always want you to be encouraged, blessed, and walk in truth.
Okay, so Before we go, Pastor Jake, can you say that one more time again? Because you went out and the only part was the walk of truth came through.
Okay. We always want you to be encouraged, blessed, and at peace. And always remember to walk in truth, and go over to Walk in Truth TV YouTube page and our Walk in Truth Christian Fellowship Church Facebook page, Walk in Truth Radio Network Facebook page, and my personal page, James Sutton II. So I hope to see you guys soon when we talk about cloak and cover.
All right, that's perfect. That's way better. All right, you guys. Well, I have enjoyed this season. We're not done, right? We're not done. We have so many more topics. You already heard Pastor Jay said we're gonna do cloak and cover, and we have some more after that. So you guys keep up with us while we're going through this whole season of covering season. It's gonna be great. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for participating. If you have any comments, please do comment. Please do share. Please do like, please follow. Do all the things. And remember, I love you like the Lord does in Christ Jesus. And you guys remember to be blessed, motivated, and always inspired to do what the Lord lays on your heart. You guys take care. Pastor Jay, talk to you in a bit. Bye,
all right. Don't forget to get Tanika's book. Bye.
Yeah, don't forget to get my book. Appreciate that. You guys take care. Have a blessed rest of your day, you guys. Bye now.